To be sure you never miss a Tech Ninja video, tap on the bell icon right next to subscribe. Hey, what's up guys? Kevin the Tech Ninja here, and we are getting towards the very end of flagship season. We've had a chance to see pretty much all the phones that are available right now. And let's go ahead and grab two of the arguably best phones out there right now. This is the Pixel 2 XL, and we're going against the Galaxy Note 8 in this head-to-head battle. Let's take a look. Like always, we're gonna start with design. So the Note 8 comes in an all-glass rectangular build. It's taller and heavier than the Pixel 2 XL, and it definitely feels much more solid. Now the Pixel 2 XL is a little bit shorter, which means it's easier for a lot of people to hold. But besides it being just shorter, it actually is grippier due to the materials that it's used. Now the Pixel 2 XL does have glass, but it's kind of a glass window at the top, and that's where all the antennas and radios are basically housed at. The fingerprint scanner on the Pixel is actually in the middle of the phone, which makes it a lot easier to get to versus Samsung's Note 8, which actually is towards the top next to the cameras. And sometimes you actually smudge the cameras up while getting to it, and it's just really hard to do because it does require you to shift your whole hand up to get to it. So yes, the Note does feel better in the hand, but you should get a D-brand skin too for the Note. It holds better, and also if you want to get some nice colors and textures, you can do that for just a few dollars. This is also out for the Pixel as well, so pick yourself up some skins from my link below. Now in the hand, the Pixel does feel very good, don't get me wrong, but something about the Note 8 really just feels a bit more robust, and it feels a lot more premium in the hand. But I just really wish it wasn't so slippery, so I have to give the point to the Pixel on this one. So let's move over to the screen. Now, Samsung, we all know, makes amazing screens. I've been saying this for years, and there's no exception with the Note 8. It has an Infinity Quad HD AMOLED 6.3-inch panel. The colors are punchy, and Samsung even threw in a tool to control how the colors look on the display. You can make it a little bit warmer, you can make it a little bit cooler, you can take away some of that punch, make it more realistic. I mean, Samsung gave you all the opportunity to make this screen perfect, and I was able to fine tune it to make it perfect for my eyes. I got the balance of saturation and also realism. Amazing. So it's gonna be really hard to top that for the Pixel 2 XL. How do they do? They didn't do bad. I mean, the Pixel 2 XL is a 6-inch Quad HD P OLED display. I'll say the colors are accurate, but there's no way to customize how it looks. Next to the Samsung Note 8, it does look dead. It looks dead. I hate to say that, but it just doesn't have that life that you get with a Samsung display. Some are gonna say that the screen's very accurate, and I will hand that to you, but at the same time, it's just not a treat to look at when you compare it directly to Samsung's screen. Also, the viewing angles are not that good on the Pixel, and that's really surprising. If you look at it from sort of the edges a little bit, it starts to shift blue and it looks real cool, but when you look at it head on, it's actually a very warmed display. There's also an option for vibrant colors. I flick that on and I don't see much of a difference either, so I do have to give the point to Samsung. Now, even though the Pixel 2 XL is very thin when it comes to bezels, a lot of people look at Samsung now as the leader when it comes to getting rid of the bezels, and a lot of people are expecting that, and that's definitely unfair because if you make good uses of the bezel, unlike Apple, then it's actually good to kind of have the bezel because the Pixel 2 XL actually comes with front-facing speakers compared to the mono speaker on the Note 8. And there's a really big difference. I mean, even when it comes to gaming, if you take a look, when you're playing a game, you know, you hold your controller, you hold your phone like this, you're covering the speaker naturally, versus when the sound comes from the front. It just makes sense. But also, let's just listen to an example of two speakers versus one. Which one sound better? I'll let you be the judge of that one. Okay, so let's dig right into specs. Both the Note 8 and the Pixel 2 XL rocks the same Snapdragon 835 octa-core processor clocked at 235 GHz. But the Note 8 comes with an extra 2 gigabytes of RAM at 6 gigabytes and an option to expand the default 64 gigabyte of storage via a micro SD card. Now both of those features are things that the Pixel 2 XL doesn't even offer. While hardware power is similar, it just boils down to how software is optimized on each device. Here is me launching a series of apps to compare. Side note, I did clear the app data on Chrome and games were fresh installs, and also came off a reboot, and I'll let you see how the reboot went. Even though I started the reboot process a little bit later on the Pixel XL, it definitely caught up and it was waiting for the Note to turn on. Without a doubt, the Pixel is faster. It's not a huge difference between the Pixel and the Note, but you can definitely see that the Pixel gets into apps a lot faster than the Note 8. So without a doubt, the Pixel is definitely faster than the Note 8, and that's okay. The Note 8 has more RAM, but at the same time, it's running more things in the background with Samsung Experience Launcher and the S Pen and all those features too. And the Pixel is much more refined, much more subtle, and doesn't run so many things. So the Pixel XL just runs a lot better. Now, I will say one of the biggest advantages of Samsung is that you get so much customization that you can really fine-tune your device to make it exactly how you want it. Remember I was talking about the screen earlier? Well, that goes for everything else with the OS. And Samsung does a great job allowing you to customize, install themes, and do a lot of these things that requires applications for Android. Samsung has it all built in, which does slow things down a bit, but at the same time you get customization and you can make your phone perfect for you. Now what the Pixel is going to have over Samsung, and we all know this, is that it's going to get the latest software updates. Right now I'm rocking Android 8. Samsung may not have a chance to actually get it. So that's going to be one of those things you actually have to look and see if these updates ever come to Samsung. Now bouncing back to Samsung, the Note 8 is a featured pack phone. You do have S Pen where you can do things like live messaging, app pairing, and as I said, screen calibration. And you have a lot of other options too built in right into the device and extra 2 gigabytes of RAM. Now Samsung's also trying to add additional value with their own AI, and this is called Bixby. Now starting off, Bixby got no love from pretty much anyone. It wasn't ready, it didn't come out, it was in beta, they pulled it out. It had a lot of issues, and being quite honest, I'm not dedicated to using Bixby all the way. Now, since it did come out, it is a lot better, and I've accidentally opened it a few times and it told me something that was pretty useful. But at the same time, it's not something I'm really into. Now, they are pushing out a lot of updates. I've noticed more and more things in the application. It's working on home automation, but Google Assistant does all that already, and I can use that on multiple devices. I can use that on my Android TV. I can use that on all my phones. I can actually have a Google Home in my house. So it's just one of those things that depends on which AI assistant you prefer. I prefer Google Home, so I got to give the point to Google on this one. Now let's talk about cameras. This is going to be a big one right here. So both phones have attacked the camera in two different ways. So check this out. The Pixel 2 XL keeps a single 12 megapixel camera at the back with an f1.8 aperture. It has the highest rating on DxOMark from any smartphone ever. I don't know what you feel about DxO, but I want to throw that in there. I think the pictures it takes are quite contrasty and deep. The UI is very simple, with only feature is being the new portrait mode. This goes for the front and the back cameras, and its performance is amazing. Google uses AIs to distinguish the subject from the background. I've been really happy with it. Now the front-facing shooter, I do keep on portrait mode there too, because it does such a great job at it, and it looks really good. The Note 8 on the other hand has dual 12 megapixel sensors. Things like 2x zoom and live focus for that same blurry background effect is really nice, and you can even adjust the background blur and post, which isn't something you can do on the 2 XL at all. But the 8 megapixel front-facing camera isn't really great. And I'm sorry to say that. You get this smooth looking skin, and it's just giving me the impression that I'm wearing makeup, and I don't wear makeup. Now, something I've never been a fan of with Samsung devices, and I've been talking about this for years. Now, granted, the Note 8 does give you tons of software tricks up its sleeve, but the Pixel 2 XL just takes better pictures. And when you take better pictures, that's at the end of the day, your goal is to take better pictures. And that's what the Pixel 2 XL does. Look at these picture examples in low light. I mean, this is where it truly shines. I mean, these are situations that I wouldn't feel comfortable taking a picture with my phone. Now take a look at these two pictures right here. This is where you're really gonna see it. I'm in pitch black right now. I'm literally at 10 o'clock at night sitting on my porch. The only lights are the lights behind me. And taking a front-facing selfie with the Pixel 2 XL yielded way different results than with the Note 8. Just look at those for a second. I also do that same scenario with the Flash on 2, and here are those examples as well. On the video side of things, the dual OIS is extremely stable on the Note 8, and it looks really good, and it actually makes the video a lot better than I thought it would, and I'm very impressed with it. But the Pixel 2 XL is on a whole nother level. It almost looks like this thing is on a rig. It takes just video and it's just so silky smooth. So for cameras, I definitely have to give it to the Pixel. And the last thing we're going to discuss is battery life. I don't like talking about battery life because everyone's usage is completely different, but let's dive into it. The Note 8 comes equipped with a 3300 milliamp battery, which you can fast charge both via the wire and wirelessly. The Pixel 2 XL has a larger 2520 milliamp cell, which you can only recharge via a wire. Now both phones come equipped with USB-C, and endurance-wise, standby time is all pretty much the same. Now the Pixel has given me better battery life than the Note. Now I've been able to get around 45 minutes more worth of screen on time, which isn't a big deal, but when I'm charging at the end of the night, I'm around 40% versus 30-ish% on the Note. Both phones are still great, but the Pixel does eke out better battery life. Alright, so what's a better device? I'm gonna have to give it to the Pixel 2 XL. The Pixel device for me just checks all the boxes that are important, but what Samsung does is give you amazing hardware. So if you're a hardware person and you wanna have that SD card, you wanna have that wireless charging, you want that stuff, then get yourself the Note 8. It's an amazing phone, don't get me wrong, but if you're a stickler for a great camera, a simple software experience, then the Pixel 2 is probably gonna be your best bet. Both devices are relatively expensive, but with the Pixel 2, you can actually get that on Verizon as your carrier, through a carrier, and with the Note, you can get it from pretty much any carrier available. Anyways, guys, I'm Kevin the Tech Ninja. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Alright guys, after making this video and editing this video, a lot more things has been coming out about the Pixel 2 XL, and at this point, do not get the XL edition. Consider getting the smaller edition if you want to get a Pixel still. The 2 XL is having so many screen issues, a lot of complaints, and now it's having a burn-in issue that will probably get worse over time. So guys, do not get the 2 XL. Get the one if you're going to go with the Pixel. I just wanted to throw this in at the end of the video just to make this very clear. Talk to you guys later.